You're telling me people hated this album when it came out?
I think I just found another one of my favorite Lana Del Rey songs.
What? Dude, these guitar tones are so good. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jerry Bees, and we're finally getting back into Lana Del Rey today with Chemtrails Over the Country Club. I know it's been a while since we last reacted to Norman fucking Rockwell, right? And in trying to finish the Lana Del Rey journey, I made a couple of mistakes. One, just not really realizing how many albums she had, and two, just finishing the Lana Del Rey journey. If you've been with me this entire time and you've been patiently waiting, thank you for your patience. We are finally back with Lana Del Rey, and I'm excited for it not only because we're getting back into Lana Del Rey, but I don't know, at this point in my life right now, I'm like, I want that Lana energy. I want that dreamy kind of more ethereal pop thing that she has, and even when it doesn't hit for me, this way that she waves her lyrics in and out maybe is a little bit more dramatic about it, but you can look at it as cinematic, right? And I know that whenever I'm listening to a Lana Del Rey album, it's consistent, right? It's very cohesive. It might be a little boring in that sense, right? Maybe not very dynamic as maybe other bands are, like Linkin Park. I just talked about that during my Linkin Park tier list video. If you happen to be a Lana Del Rey and Linkin Park fan, dang gummit, that video's for you. But otherwise, I am just kind of excited to get back into Lana Del Rey here, and the loose alliteration we have going on with this album title satisfies me. You know, Chemtrails at the Country Club. I love alliteration. I'm a sucker for it. You can do alliteration of any degree, and I'd be like, dude, that was fire. All alligators aggravating ants. Useless uncles unincorporated umbrellas. Xylophone Xerox Xenon. Oh, Christ. You cannot fully understand the vibe this masterpiece provided to my 2021 summer. Well, I was going to say that too, because she put out 2 albums in 2021, so this was obviously the first one she put out in 2021. And Blue Banisters, which I've heard a lot of great things about Blue Banisters. So she seemed to be pretty busy over COVID. Is that kind of what I'm getting? Being a Lana fan in that era was hard. Well, you know, sometimes you just got to admit when somebody makes a bop, but we will see here if the bops stand out for me. As always, please do let me know your thoughts on my thoughts down in the comments below. If you want to see this reaction, uncut, unedited, and some other reactions that I'll do in the future before they come out on YouTube, go ahead and check out my Patreon. We can get exactly that for just another $1. But another $1? No, it's always been $1. Cherry Bees, what are you doing? I'm going to run through that again. I'm sorry, guys. Bad take. Go ahead and check out my Patreon where you can get exactly that for just $1, as well as early access. There's some other tiers. And if you want to see your name in the credits, there's some tiers for that too. Click every single one of my links. I worked really hard putting those links in the description. My hands were bleeding putting those links in the description, and it would just really, really help me out if you clicked on them. You don't even have to do anything. You can open it up and close it for all I care. Just click them. That was objectively worse, but I'm gonna go with that take. Chemtrails Over the Country Club. Here it is, and it's the same kind of Lana Del Rey aesthetic that we got going on. You know, here it's like given very much like the opening title crawl of a like 1960s sitcom, whatever it might be. You know, you can see like Green Acres right here. I don't know, Beverly Hillbillies or something else, right? Right? It's giving nostalgia. It's giving Americana. We've been through this before with Lana Del Rey, but we'll see how the sonic aspects of it kind of play into that. Is it going to be kitschy like that? I think Lana's kind of a big fan of kitsch and camp. So we'll see how hard we kind of go into that. I know that there are some other album covers for this album, but this is the one on Spotify. So this is the one we're going with. People hated the cover, but I love that she did something different and had all of her friends. Is this like Lana's sister right there? That kind of looks like Lana in a way, but you know, who's to say? So we're gonna start this out right here. Chemtrails Over the Country Club 2021, 11 songs, 45 minutes, 27 seconds.
Sunset, don't get with my head in my hands, thinking small, but I had it under control every time. When I was a waitress music business conference.
Her vocals,
Down in
dude.
Orlando, I was only 19. Jazz up on the lawn. Listen to White Stripes when they were white. Wearing a tight dress, handling the heat. I wasn't famous. Just listening to Kings of Leon to the beat. Like, look how I got this. Look how I got this. Just singing in the street. Down at the Minute Music Business Conference.
I love how fast she says that.
Guess I was only 19. All again I thought, because it made me feel like a god. Cause it made me feel like a god. Down at the Minute Music Business Conference. Down in Orlando, I was only 19. Down at the Minute Music Business Conference. Only a waitress wearing a tight dress. Like, look at what dude this. Look at what got this. Kinda makes me feel like maybe I was better off.
So we got White Dress there, and I don't know if it's peak, but my interest is definitely peaked. This album has started out very, very interesting to me. Jerry B's, why is it interesting to you? I'm literally about to say it. Hold your horses, okay? I think first and foremost, you got to look at the vocal performance on this one. I know she gets breathy sometimes, whispery even, but this, like, to do it for the entire length of this song was really quite something. And I know that when you're recording, you're probably not recording the song in every single, like, they're definitely not recording this live, right? You know, you record the piano, you record the drums, and then you kind of sync it all together. At least that's a very common recording technique. The same can even be true with vocals, right? Maybe you only do some of the songs from one take, or some of the song from one take, and then you get the rest of it from that take, or, oh, we really like this part, so maybe we'll intertwine it here and, you know, put that in the background, whatever it might be. But as the end result, I thought it was really strong, and at least getting me to really pay attention to what was going on. And it's not just, you know, that I think somebody said it here, like a whisper falsetto. It's how high she was singing too. And then, like, you get the vocal delivery when she's going on lines down at the Men in Music Business Conference.
Down at the Minute Music Business Conference.
Like, it just gets so fast, like, out of nowhere. But yet the rest of the song kind of stays at this pace, and it's a little piecemealy as well. You know, it everything kind of has the same tempo. They're all kind of playing in the same tempo, but it's not like every single instrument is in tune with each other. So it's just a very interesting kind of composition here, I think, while still remaining very Lana Del Rey, right? Very still kind of spacey. And we get that with the lyrics, right? More Lana Del Rey making references to other artists, which I feel like we've gotten a lot of in the last couple Lana Del Rey albums. Sun Ra, Jack White, or at least the White Stripes here, right? Kings of Leon. And knowing Lana Del Rey and her songwriting acumen, right? You know, she's calling back to a time when she was 19, calling back to bands that she used to listen to, talking about this white dress. Maybe you can see that as a symbol of innocence, right? So maybe recalling this time where she was innocent, maybe not in the brightest of senses, you know what I mean? Because it makes you feel like, because it made me feel like a god, kind of makes me feel like I was better off. So, I mean, right there, you know, you look back at these times and you go, man, you know, that was a good time. Maybe, you know, maybe the grass wasn't always greener, you know, when I tried to do other things. Now, in retrospect, hindsight's 2020. You get the deal. But, seeing as how the white dress is a symbol of maybe innocence in women, how that kind of parallels to down at the Men in Music Business Conference, I think she's trying to say something there. But this is a reaction where these are just my first off the top of my head thoughts. So if you have anything else to say, please do let me know. But really liking how this is starting out so far. Just from a wanting to hear something new and something different. Even for Lana, I think we've already kind of achieved that here. Can't imagine being a Lana fan when this album dropped thinking, how can she top NFR? Then you hear this song. Well, and that was something that I didn't really get into in the introduction, right? I mean, NFR was so good just from a production level, songwriting level. Everybody was like, oh, NFR is so good. And it had one of my favorite Lana Del Rey songs on it, right? I had heard Norman fucking Rockwell before, at least the song, right? And the rest of the album kind of followed suit in that way. So I'm thinking, okay, is Lana going to fall off here? So far, not really. But this is good. I've always appreciated how Lana can try something new while still maintaining that Lana energy so well. Because this sounds nothing like Ultraviolence. But I listen to this and I listen to Ultraviolence and I go, yeah, no, it's fucking Lana Del Rey. Doesn't sound like anybody else.
I'm on the run.
Chemtrails, Over the Country Club, the titular track. Some people are saying that this is one of the best on the album and maybe the best in Lana's discography here. So let's run with this.
You, my sweet love, there's nothing wrong. Contemplating God under the chemtrails, over the country club. Wearing our jewels in the swimming pool, me and my sister. Well, I don't care what they think. Drag racing my little red sports car. I'm not unhinged or unhappy. I'm just wild. I'm on the run with you, my sweet love. There's nothing wrong. Contemplating God under the chemtrails, over the country club. Unhappy, I'm still so strange and wild. Out in the wind, I'm in the water. Nobody's son, nobody's daughter. Watching the chemtrails over the country club. Suburbia, the Brentwood Market, what to do next? It's never too late, baby, so don't give up. It's never too late, baby, so don't give up. Under the chemtrails, over
And then we just vibe for 50 seconds. So yeah, that was the titular track, Chemtrails Over the Country Club. And let's put our hands together for Jack Antonoff in the booth on this one. Doing a pretty good job on the production because and composition as well. Because I'm really enjoying both so far. This is not starting out as maybe as exciting instrumentally or musically as some of maybe Lana's other albums have started. At least out from the gate. And something that sounds a little bit more familiar to just about anything else. And this one did. I'm like, okay, we're still taking it slow. That's fine. The first one was kind of slow. Like I said, it was a little bit chaotic just in the sense that all of it was piecemealed. But still kind of gave that spacey kind of, and when I say spacey, I don't mean like, I guess I mean like In the Stars, but just, this general like soundscape or mood that Lana tends to give in her music. But this one starts to pick up with the percussion about halfway through. I'm like, oh, I really wasn't expecting a build here, but maybe this builds into something. And it doesn't really. It kind of just leaves us off right here with the percussion. And so they're subtracting from the instrumentals, but in a weird way. I feel like they're giving me more with that. It's even more spacey. It's the subtraction of things. The absence of other things makes it feel like it kind of always has. I think, to kind of reinforce the point that I'm trying to make here, if we look so far back into maybe some of Lana's earlier stuff. It's very orchestral, right? Very, very kind of dreamy. But here, it's going from like, I don't know, Lisa Frank dreamy, which is the bad example, but that's what I'm going with right now, to like Lynchian a little bit. I don't know, just 50 seconds of just like the same drum loop. And those drums sound pretty flat too. I don't mean to say that they're bad, but it was a choice to make them not very, they're not resonating a lot. They're not very boomy. They're just kind of flat jazz drums, which is reinforcing this point of everything just kind of staying like nice and low down and cool. I could look a little bit deeper into the lyrics, but I think we still are just on that theme of innocence, maybe adolescence as well here. Just me and my sister playing it cool under the Chemtrails over the country club. Maybe that to insinuate that even when you were a child, maybe there are some things that, you see, you definitely see lines in the sky from airplanes. They're not chemtrails. Sorry to burst your bubble there, Lana. But in the sense of just to say, when you're a child, you do see all these things, but, they might have more serious implications down the line. Maybe you do figure out what they are. But when you're a child, you're just kicking it. You know what I mean? Okay, so apparently we got like a banger coming up here. Tulsa Jesus Freak.
Jesus. Keep that bottle in your hand, my man. Find your way back to my bed again. Sing me like a Bible hymn. 'Cause down in Arkansas, the stores are all closed. Kids in their hoodies, they dance super slow. But way hot forever, and only to know. You should stay real close to Jesus. Keep up a piece of heaven. I'm a candle in the wind. We'll be way hot forever. Way hot forever. Way hot forever. And now the wind's blowing, reminding you of what you know. You should stay real close to Jesus. Keep that bottle in your hand, my man. Find your way back to my bed again.
Why'd they drop the beat? I was grooving. Bring it back. Bring it back. Just like Arkansas. Yes.
Trade this body for the can of gin. Way hot forever and ever, amen. You don't pray, you'll never learn.
Okay, there's the auto-tune. Maybe it was in some other places. So before the song started, we had some people in the chat going that this was Lana XCX, Charlie XCX. So I'm expecting something a little bit more poppy, maybe electro dance, if you will. But devotion to accuracy. It was clarified that Lana XCX in the sense that there's auto-tune. There was auto-tune at the end, but definitely a much stronger, more identifiable beat than the past two songs. But still keeping me right where I want to be, folks. Right? I am welcoming this album in with an open heart and open arms. It's been a while since we've had the prose of Lizzie Grant blessed upon our ears here on the channel. The dulcet tones, as it were. Even if those tones are auto-tuned, I don't give a shit. I'm here for the vibe, if nothing else. But Jerry B's, I come to your channel for more critical analysis other than I just come here for the vibes. Then maybe we get more into that. But we came here for the vibes. We're getting some pretty good songwriting. We're getting some interesting compositions. This one maybe a little less, right? But I fucked with that beat real heavy. I got sad when it went away because it's like, stop. I want the beat back. Yes, Jack Antonoff, please, I need the beat. Jack Antonoff, I'll never be mean to you again, even though I don't think I've ever really been that mean to you. But that's the joke here on the channel, right? Well, and we're going back, especially for like, let me love you like a woman.
I come from a small town, how about you? I only mention it 'cause I'm ready to leave LA, and I want you to come. 80 miles north or south will you like a woman. Let me hold you like a baby. Let me shine like a diamond. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Talk to me in poems and songs. I come from a small town far away. I only mention it 'cause I'm ready to leave LA, and I
That's
want you
new.
to come. I guess I could manage if you stay. It's just if you do, I can't see myself having any fun. So let me love you like a woman. Let me hold you like a baby. You to infinity. Let me hold you like a woman. Take you to infinity. We could get lost in the purple rain.
Okay, all right.
Talk
That's a
about
Prince
the
reference. I don't care.
lights.
That's a Prince
We could
reference.
get house and paint champagne. Touching me in songs and poets. Don't make me be bittersweet. Let me love you like a woman.
That was Let Me Love You Like a Woman, and like I said during the song, this was produced so clean. The vocals and the piano especially. The vocals more than anything else. A real juxtaposition from what we got in the first song, where it's whispery, it's falsetto, it's even like a little bit like you can't hear her very clearly, maybe just for how she's singing, but I don't even think it's recorded as clean as this. I mean, this is right in front of everything else. And in those multiple vocal tracks, more Lana voice is usually better, and we got a lot of it there. But the piano is just awesome. I loved it. And we're seeing here some evolution in the way that Lana thinks about things, or at least what she's willing to kind of divulge in her songwriting. You know, you can take it as, well, I'm not sure if this is, you know, it's like strictly an artistic thing here, or this is, you know, kind of autobiographical, diaristic, not diuretic. You know, I only mention it because I'm ready to leave LA. I feel like so much of Lana's songwriting in the past is, you know, where or what she's feeling in her time and place. And usually that time and place is her time in LA. You know, just these visions of trying to make it at the top of the hill, using Hollywood imagery. I think, what album was that for? Was that for Honeymoon? Tell me if I'm wrong. I could be getting mixed up on that. So that, you know, when I read this is like, I only mention it because I'm ready to leave LA, is like Anthony Kiedis saying something bad about the state of California. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. So I read this and I go, Lana, what's wrong? Ms. Grant, are you okay? Wild at heart?
So I smoke cigarettes just to understand the smog.
I love that line. That's such a good line. Oh my God.
You're killing me more than coffee pots and instant thoughts. With every drop I pour, and if I left Calabasas, escaped all the ashes, ran into the dark, and it made me wild, wild, wild at heart. The cameras had flashes, they caused the car crashes, but I'm not a star. Like you heard, I was out in the bars, drinking Jack and Coke, going crazy for anyone who would listen to my stories, babe. And time after time, I think about leaving, but you know that I never do, just 'cause you keep me believing. I left Calabasas, escaped all the ashes, ran into the dark, and it made me wild, wild, wild at heart. The cameras had flashes, they caused the car crashes, but I'm not a star, 'cause baby I'm wild.
and just like that, I found one of my new favorite Lana Del Rey songs. Loved every second of this one. Oh my goodness. I think as much as I've been praising, maybe the non-standard, maybe non-traditional compositions of some of these other songs, now we are definitely fully, in the middle of this album. So maybe those sounds are just kind of there to introduce maybe the tone of how the album would go through. And that's definitely consistent so far. This is still, like a lot of other Lana's music, still taking its goddamn time. And I don't mind that with Lana. I really don't. But I will say, and even the Lana albums that I, have come to really enjoy, sometimes if I'm listening to it in one sitting, like really trying to listen to it, if I'm not like just, having it on to have it on, you might lose me either in one half of the album, whether it's the first half or the second half. It just, after some time, I'll be like, okay, I get the point. But so with this one, we're bringing in the guitars, a little bit more of a standard band setup, and we get, some of those orchestral strings coming in. But her vocals are awesome here again. The chord progression right before the chorus is great, and the chorus kind of flips the whole song on its head because we kind of got two different songs here. Definitely changes key. This is one of the best segments this is one of the best songwriting segments of any Lana Del Rey song, in my opinion. I smoke cigarettes just to understand the smog. I love you like polka dots. You're killing me more than coffee pots and Insta thoughts. You might look at that and roll your eyes, but So I Smoke Cigarettes Just to Understand the Smog is legendary. I love that so much. Because smog is obviously something that's hurtful, right? It's not the best thing for anybody to be breathing in, and it's kind of sad that it exists in the first place. And cigarettes are about kind of the same story there for you, and they emit smoke. So I don't know. I think that there's a level of thinking there that goes one step above maybe just like, okay, I'm sad, I need you, I'm horny, the Lana Del Rey, right? To say something about Lana Del Rey's songwriting is one thing, but there is also a lot of that. But it's moments like this where I'm like, God damn, does she know what the hell she's doing? I think she actually says instant thoughts. No, she's definitely saying insta thoughts there. I'm not hearing instant thoughts. Maybe? No, she says insta dots. You let me know what Lana's saying right here, and I'll give you a thumbs up on your comment, maybe. It's in the Chemtrails vinyl. Okay, so perhaps there is some devotion to accuracy here. Who knows? I don't know. I honestly, I think it works any which way you put it. But Insta Thoughts is like, I don't know. I don't think anybody else could get away with it if it is Insta Thoughts besides Lana Del Rey. I'm literally looking at it. I believe you. But it says Insta Thoughts, and I'm hearing it as well. Insta Thoughts is funnier. Oh, it's infinitely funnier. But just a game.
It's dark, but just a game. That's what he would say to me. It's time you'd be sweet or whatever, baby. A pretty little fool to think exceptions to the rule. Just walk around like you and me this way. But life is sweet or whatever, baby. Gotta take them for what they got. And while the whole world is crazy, we're getting high in the parking lot. We keep changing all the time. The best ones lost their minds, so I'm not gonna It's dark, but just a game. It's dark, but just a game. just a game, so play it like a symphony.
Okay.
While the whole world is crazy, we're making out in the parking lot. We keep changing all the time.
Oh my God.
The best ones lost their minds, so I'm not gonna change. I'll be the same. No rose left on the vines. Don't even want what's mine, much less the fame. It's dark, but just.
You're telling me people hated this album when it came out?
I think it's another one of my favorite Lana Del Rey songs.
What? This is exactly, Bees. It's perfect. This is one of those really, really good songs. Oh my God. We keep changing all the time while the production. Yeah. So she says that, and then it switches, which has been a mainstay of this album so far. Like the composition change, and whether or not it's the you just get like a simple chord change or a simple key change rather. But here the production, how boomy that bass is, the percussion, the little elements we're putting in here and there, and then like really this is the cleanest guitar tone and I think most effective guitar tone and instrumentation that we've gotten out of a Lana Del Rey album since Ultraviolence, and that's been one of my favorites even still. And then they combine that section with because the beat pretty much drops out as soon as the guitars come in. And then we combine that to ride us out to the end. Oh my God, I loved this. I loved it. This is like the middle of, screw it. Everything up to this point has been really quite good. Especially these last two tracks. Oh my word. And I'm sure there's a lot of great songwriting in here that maybe I just wasn't paying attention to because the composition just threw me for a loop. Jack. That Jack. Jack. The Beatles style breakdown is crazy. It is definitely reminiscent of the Beatles with the harmonies going on there.
We keep changing all the time. The best ones lost their minds, so I'm not gonna.
Very, very reminiscent of the Beatles there, especially with the multi-tracks there. And I can't imagine that wasn't the point. You know, when Lana was kind of working with Sean Lennon, right? You know, we got some of that there as well. So it's another addition into the book of Lana Del Rey giving some love to her influences, but here in a way that I think is a little bit more subtle and transformative than maybe some of the more on the nose kind of things that we've gotten in previous projects. But because it's a Beatles harmony is the last thing I'm expecting with.
Just walk around like you and me this way.
This song was so much fun. Dark but just a game. Round of applause once again. Come on now, Ava. Come on. Not all who wander
I've
are
been
lost.
wearing the same damn clothes for 3 damn days. Lincoln, Nebraska's got me in a haze. The got my name on your tattoo. Opening up doors, pulling out just look at you. You talk to God like not all those who wander are lost. Not all those who wander, all those who wander just wanderlust. The thing about being on the road is there's too much time to think about what I mean. You say you got my name as your tattoo, pulling out chains, opening doors, looking talk to people like I do. Wonder our lives.
I really want this to stay acoustic. I don't want it to pick up at all.
Wander are lost. Not all those who wander. Look at me, look at you, look at what you made me do. Look at me, look at you, Bible on your tattoo. Look at me, look at you, look at what you made me do. Look at me, look at you. Just wanderlust.
Dude, these guitar tones are so good. Oh, they're so good. Ah. Another one. Another one. Man. You know, I mean, if we're talking about album pacing, this one was a proper song to put where it is. I mean, after Wild at Heart, and especially after Dark is Just a Game, something that kind of lay us back down a little bit, even though we haven't been picked up that much, but there was definitely a lot more happening within Wild at Heart and Dark but Just a Game. And I got my wish. I wanted it to remain acoustic. I didn't want anything to happen. Me and Lana and Jack we're like this, right? Maybe let's get three fingers in there. We're like this, right? That's what's going on right here. That's everything that's happening right here. We are all in tune and one with our creator. Really liked the acoustic element here. Also, the guitars are just coming through so well, and maybe that's just me, right? Maybe you can say that Lana's one of those artists who has something for everybody, but somebody who identifies as a rock and roller, right? Maybe I engage more with guitar-based music than really any other genre. You know, I don't really think it's that surprising that maybe those works from Lana that utilize guitars a little bit more infiltrate my heart more than everything else does. And I mean, that's definitely the case here, but also in the sense that so far this is like almost cemented itself as a top 3 Lana Del Rey album for me. I mean, this, you know, NFR, Ultraviolence, like I'm really liking it to that extent, maybe a little bit more than those other albums in a couple ways. Even really kind of edging out Ultraviolence here for me. I like these moments where they're letting us breathe a little bit with the instrumentation. There's not a ton happening, but it's all atmosphere. It's all kind of soundscape. Just nestling, just like dropping us off and making sure we're going to be just fine going into the next song. Yeah, I'm really appreciating this, and I knew I wanted to listen to Lana Del Rey today. It wasn't just like I had it scheduled. You know, I had some other options of what to do this week, but I was like, you know what? I want Lana Del Rey because it's been a while since we've done it anyway. But that's what I was in the mood for, and it has not disappointed. I'm really liking this run of albums from her, at least between NFR this and, you know, she came out with another album in 2021, Blue Banisters. That's going to be up next after this. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you catch that one, because I'll probably get to it sooner than I got to this one. We got Yosemite.
Seasons may change. Fall, isn't it cool how nothing here changes at all? You make me feel I'm invincible. We did it for fun, we did it for free. I did it for you, you did it for me. We did it for the right reasons. We did it for the right reasons. It will turn. pages of all of the poems we burned. Honey, you make me feel I'm invincible. It's just like I wanted. No more candle in the wind. I remember watching how green was my valley. Then I was thinking, how deep was the canyon that you came from? Television static. Reasons withstanding all the time, changes and seasons. Reasons.
So that was Yosemite, and we keep returning to this theme of candles in the wind, and I like how she kind of even parlayed that into I'm burning at both ends, just keeping I guess the candle imagery in mind as well there, and it's more the typical Lana, like let me see what I can really puff my chest at here, lyrically. It's just so funny because I'm like just so transfixed on the sonic elements of everything, the musical elements, the instrumentation, and how we're using that to pace ourselves along in this album. I know people were saying that Yosemite was actually quite dark, and I agree. It does have kind of like this slow, foreboding sound, but I also get that vibe off the rest of the album. It's not like depressing because here, she's inviting change, talking about the seasons, right? Talking about how things were before and all that. And it seems as though she's owning things a little bit more here, and but not in a way that's like, oh, I'm a bad bitch. It's way more confident in a way, and I think there's something bittersweet in there because it's like there is this aspect of like, maybe I am on my own. Maybe I can't count on things as much. Maybe I need to stop looking back as much and focus more on what's ahead, or when I do look back, only find the lessons therein to make me better now. And I get it that that's not maybe what exactly is being talked about here, but that's kind of the air of what I'm getting through this album. There may have been sadder situations that we've talked about in the past, more depressing situations, but there's this darkness over this album that is just so undeniable that yeah, fuck anybody who didn't like this. I honestly miss me with that bullshit because you're upsetting me and I hate you. Moving on. Breaking Up Slowly.
Be lonely, but it's the right thing. Are these my good years, or do I have none? Are there really good years for everyone? Breaking up slowly is a hard thing to do. I love you only, but it's making me blue. So don't send me flowers like you always do. Will he still love me long after I'm gone? Or did he see it coming all along? 'Cause breaking up slowly is a hard thing to do. I love you all, so don't send me flowers like you always do. It's hard to be lonely. Breaking up is hard to do. Breaking up slowly. Breaking up is hard to do. Breaking up slowly is a hard thing to do.
Great vocals, great tones on the guitars, and it's I think it's like the lower bits of the guitars that they're tuning up, or I don't know what the hell was going on with it. I think that's the bass, because the bass was just filling up every little void behind the vocals. Was the bass just hugging my ears in the way that I want bass to hug my ears. I thought it was like the lower ends of the guitars that they're tuning up or turning up, but it, man, I like my bass to punch me in the face. And that's the thing, it's punching me in the face, but it's not like, you know, how like a Charlie XCX song bass is going to punch you in the face. You know, it's not quick and moving around. It is an undeniable presence in that sense. Yeah. Dance Till We Die. I'll be honest with you guys. I am so hungry right now. So if it feels like I'm moving kind of quick, that's just why. And I ate before. I just didn't eat a lot. I didn't think I'd have to eat a lot, but I guess I'm a very hungry boy. We got Dance Till We Die.
I'm covering Joni and I'm dancing with John. Stevie's calling on the telephone.
Is that Joni Mitchell, Joan Jett, Stevie Nicks?
Court almost burnt down my home.
I don't know who Court is.
And life doesn't always work out like we planned. We keep it moving, babe. So we made it back in the middle of the night.
Joan Baez.
To the Louisiana two-step high and bright. That we won't say when, we won't ask why. Clementine's not just a fruit, it's my daughter's chosen name. And when all the bars close down tonight, there's one that stays open just for us, alright. We keep it dancing, babe. So we made it back in the middle until we died. I went down a Woodside. I left Berkeley out of city, out of mind, killing it, talking shit. Joan said she was gonna quit, tearing it up at the Afro Caribbean Tuesday. I left San Francisco. I've been covering Joni and I'm dancing with Joan. It's kinda hard to find love when you're used to rolling like a Rolling Stone. So we made it back in the middle of the night.
It's teasing me.
To the Louisiana
You're teasing me. Naughty, naughty.
Dance until we die. And we won't stop dancing till we die.
You know, there's a part of me that really wants to get mad at this album for like just teasing me. Like I said, they've been teasing me with like these switch ups and not like extending them for as long as I want them to. But at that point, it's like, no, I actually kind of respect that more, because you know this slaps. You know it's maybe a little bit more accessible to people, right? Because it has that beat to it. But you're not going to give me that, because that's not what this is. And there's so many aspects of that through this album. So, yeah, have I really been enjoying the slower stuff? Absolutely. Can the slower stuff blend in together? 100%. But then you give me shit like this. You keep me on my toes in an album that otherwise might just make you fall asleep. You know, if you're not already just like dedicated to this kind of sound. Because, you know, part of my feeling is, you know, I guess part of my thought process when I'm kind of reacting to an album and where does it stack up against all the other albums that I've ever listened to, you know, is the accessibility portion to it. It is, okay, like, how does this work against everything else? But this is one of those times where it's like, no. This is what it is. This is separate.
I've been covering Joni and I'm dancing with Joan. It's kinda hard to find love when you're used to rolling like a Rolling Stone. So we made it back in the middle of the night.
And then it just drops like that. You're teasing me.
You're teasing me. Naughty.
Also, some devotions to accuracy here. I got the Joni Mitchell thing. Joan Baez. I was going to say Joan Jett didn't feel right anyway. Stevie Nicks appropriately, right? And we got Courtney Love. So Court almost burned down my house. And that seems to track. That seems to track there. Well done. Well done. So, wait, Zella Day? Does she have the... No, I'm thinking of somebody completely different. No, I'm not. No way. Okay, so there is a song. This was like my post-COVID pop song. I listen to this song all the time. So Lana's got this song with Zella Day and who else? Zella Day and YS Blood. I don't know how you'd pronounce that. Dude, I loved this song. I've never seen her anywhere else. This is a great song. This is a big moment for me. Oh my God, this is so big. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm going to love this song. It's probably not going to sound anything like that, but I'm just happy to see Zella Day appreciation on this Lana record. All right, and so this is For Free, Lana Del Rey, Zella Day, and YS Blood. Please tell me I'm pronouncing that right. I'm probably not. It's pronounced Wise. That makes so much sense. Wise Blood. That's how it's pronounced. Lana Del Rey, Zella Day, Wise Blood, and this is For Free. This is a Joni Mitchell cover. Keeping in with the theme of Lana ending albums with a cover, this is To Be Expected.
The wind rushed around in the dirty town, and the children let out from their school. I was standing on a noisy corner, waiting for the walking green and those velvet curtain calls. I got a black limousine and two gentlemen who escort me through these halls. A friend to me, the one man burned by the quick lunch stand. He's been playing real good for free. Nobody stopped to hear him, though he played so high. They knew he had never been on the TV.
Damn, she
So
even
they
sounds like Joni.
passed his music, maybe put on a
Real quick. Thank you so much, Zach. Really appreciate it. Q is better than Rocket. I agree. I can agree with that. Zach Monster is referring to how the Gund Arena was then named the Quicken Loans Arena, which everybody called the Q, which was then called Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, or how I like to call it, the Romo Fijo, and is now just called the Rocket Arena, which I think is infinitely better than Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, or is how I like to call it, the Romo Fijo. So now you can just call it the Rocket. But the Q was better. Yes, 100%. It was better than the Gund. That's just some dude. Anyway. Yeah, love Joni Mitchell. I mean, the vocals on this song were as good as they've been throughout the entirety of the album. I don't know why he kept the saxophones away from us, like this whole album outside of the last 2 songs. And really, I mean, yes, this song is on this album, but I think you can effectively look at the album being 10 tracks long, and then here's a little bonus for you. But fitting in to the instrumental style and atmosphere as everything else from the album. So it's still consistent. It's not like this sounds so much different from everything else. Having it not be a Lana Del Rey song, Lana owns this, bring some friends in for it. I think they stuck the landing here with this one pretty well. Although it had it actually ended with Dance Till We Die, I think that would have been honestly better. But Lana does what Lana does, right? She wants to put a cover in for the last song. More power to ya. But Digital here says this cover is a perfect cover for the album. It shows the central themes of the album of the same side of fame and just the simplicity and naivete. Anyway, the simplicity of a young artist that has just a pure love for music, like Lana was singing about when she was 19 in a white dress. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think the second half, fuck it, this is the conclusions part of the album, right? The second half of the album for me was a little bit harder to grasp and pay attention to the lyrics just because I was so transfixed on how everything sounded, how the compositions rolled out, and then Lana's voice. But Lana's voice was in front of everything, so it was kind of hard to fucking ignore. But the lyrics that I did catch were fine, and I do still think that this is a very bittersweet album in a way, because it's looking, it's looking at where you've kind of gone and come from, and where you are, and then where you will be, which is not a theme that is so totally separate from the rest of Lana's work. And actually, I think that that's even a kind of a common thing going on there. But it's handled in this different way, and maybe I gotta listen to it again. And it is such the case for a lot of albums here on the channel. Again, one of the big critiques of reaction work, right, is that it is my first time listening to this. It is me trying to say something about it for the first time. I don't know. I loved this one. This one is it's probably going to stick with me more than a lot of her other albums, and is entering that, I think, that elite echelon of favorite Lana Del Rey albums for me. I mean, first of all, haven't done that yet for the album. Maybe even get a little...
Oh, yeah. Faux shiz.
Or perhaps, controversially...
It's good shit, pal.
Well, and also, so we have here, you didn't get the second half because you were so hungry. Be so for real. Well, it's. I already said so many things about the composition in those early songs, right? And that stays true through the rest of the album. And then it's really just like hearing and noticing things that are different, and whether they be little production aspects or switching up the entire sound of the song for like 30 seconds. Those are the moments you end up focusing on, in which I actually talk about an album, talk about pacing. You set the expectation early on, and then you can kind of turn it around. You can kind of flip it for a second, then bring us back. And that, to me, causes a lot of intrigue right there, because it's like, whoa, we were so consistent for so long. What the fuck is happening right now? I think theme-wise, yes, I'd have to go back into it for this, but I didn't want to miss any of the production elements. This is, I know I probably said, yes, Jack Antonoff did a phenomenal job on NFR. Am I right to say that I like this one almost as much, maybe as much as NFR? It's not better than NFR. It isn't that. I can't say that. But, it's doing a lot of the same for me. Or at least the feeling of, wow, I am so glad I listened to this, right? Because the albums don't sound the same. And it's definitely a new project for her. But I don't know. Will I be irking anybody? Like, oh, you didn't like Honeymoon. Is like you should like Honeymoon way more than Chemtrails. You should like Honeymoon way more than Chemtrails. You didn't like Lust for Life as much. I think it's because Chemtrails is better. Yeah, no, this one was really good, and I hope to get to Blue Banisters before 2026 is over. NFR and Ocean Boulevard are her best, of course, but everyone has a fave. This one's climbing up there for me. Maybe I listen to it again and go, oh, this was a complete waste of my time to listen to this again. This sucks. I don't think that's gonna happen. That was my reaction to Chemtrails Over the Country Club. Please do let me know your thoughts on my thoughts. Like I said, I love this one a lot, but if you think I should have gotten more out of any other Lana's projects before this one, and besides NFR, let's be real, go ahead and let me know down in the comments below. If you want to come check us out live, make sure you click the links in the description. If you ever happen to miss one of these reactions, want to catch it before it comes out on YouTube, go ahead and check out my Patreon. We can get exactly that for just $1. What else? Oh yeah, and below all those links, you might see some other links. Maybe you buy a shirt or a button with my name on it. Maybe. You know, I think they look pretty decent, but I also just made all those things to buy for this other video that I made, so you should go watch that. And I don't know, if you think I deserve it, show it by buying something. But with all that said, I've been Jerry Bees. You've been awesome. Take it easy.
Diggity dog. Breaking. Diggity dog. Shark.